Hello and welcome back to Breeze Gaming. Today we have a quick tutorial for you looking at how to draw a circle inside of Python with Pygame. So currently I am inside of Jupyter Notebook and I have a few cells set up here, and all this is some of the basic architecture we're going to be using to draw our circle inside of. So before we get started with actually drawing the circle, I'm going to walk you through what I have so we know what we're starting with. So first up here, all I'm doing is importing Pygame and system or SYS and then initializing Pygame. And this, once I return this, now I've imported Pygame in system and then initialized Pygame, and we're ready to go. So next in this display module I have here, all I'm doing is building the screen that we're going to draw the circle on. So screen equals pygame.display.set mode. I'm setting the size of the screen. I don't want to do that. Okay. Pygame.display.set caption is just saying the title of our screen, and there's just going to be a title on the top of the screen. When we run everything. And then screen underscore color is the variable I created to set the color of our screen. And I've set it to white. Down here in the actual game loop, I have screen.fill, and screen.fill draws the actual color to the screen. And it's using this variable that I created, screen.color, screen underscore color, which, like I said, is white. So this game loop here, this is just a basic game loop. It's just a basic while loop. Inside, I just have 4 events in pygame.event.get. This is grabbing all the events inside of the loop, inside of the game loops, and I am more specific and say if event.type equals pygame.quit, which is essentially are there any quit events inside of the loop, and if there are, quit pygame and then exit the system. And then this is screen.fill, and then down here I have pygame.display.update, which is every time this loop runs, it's going to redraw the assets. So it's going to update and refresh the screen and the shapes that we draw. So there's the basic game loop and the architecture I've set up. So now let's get to drawing the actual circles. So I'm going to draw it down here under this label I have, draw shapes. So keep in mind whenever you draw any shapes, whether circle, rectangle, polygon, whatever, you want to make sure you draw everything in the order that is logical and that that works best and that actually makes sense. What I'm essentially trying to say is draw everything according to what should go first and next and last. What makes sense. So to help explain that, for example, so we want to draw the color of the screen first before we put anything on top of the screen. So if it was, building a sandwich on top of a plate and the screen was our plate, we want to put the plate down and, put our screen down and color it before we start building this actual sandwich, which is our shapes. So we want to screen.fill first before we draw any shapes on top of the screen. So, we put the screen.fill here, and then now I'm ready to draw the circle. So to get started, what we're going to do is we're going to do pygame.draw, and then we're going to do circle. So pygame.draw.circle, if we want to do a rectangle, it would be rect, which is R-E-C-T. If we want to do polygon, it would be .polygon. But today we're just looking at a circle. And the first thing we always do is tell the program where we want to draw our circle. So we want to draw it on screen, which is up here, that variable we created. And then we want to give the circle a color, and I'm just going to say green, and we're going to put it in quotation marks. And then we have 3 numbers, 3 values that we have to return. The first 2 are the XY coordinate locations for our circle. I'm going to put 500, 500, which is the direct center of my screen, because I made my screen 1000, 1000. So keep in mind the location that it puts the circle is based on the XY location it puts the circle is based on the very center of the circle. So if you put it at 500, the very middle of the screen, 500, 500, it's going to put the circle in the very center. So, just keep that in mind whenever you are placing it on the screen. And next, we want our third value will be the actual radius that'll determine the size of the circle. So I'm going to go ahead and do 30. And like I said, this is the radius that determines the overall size of the circle. So we have XY coordinates location right here, and then we have the size of the circle right here. And that is how you draw a circle. Now I'm going to go ahead and return this. And then we have our screen right here. So this is our screen, 1000, 1000, and then I place the circle at 500, 500 with 30 radius and made it green, and there is our circle. So, and I can change that around as much as I want. If I want to make the circle really huge, I can say, give it a 100 radius. Maybe I want to put it at like 250, 500, something like that. I'm going to go ahead and just restart and run everything again. And maybe I want to mix it up a little bit, and then boom, here's the circle now. So it's important to note that, as a reminder, if you're unaware, the coordinate system that Pygame uses. So normally when you have an XY graph, you start at the bottom left-hand corner, and as your X increases, you go right, and as your Y increases, you go up. However, in Pygame, it actually starts at the top left. So the X stays the same. As you increase X, it increases to the right. However, as you increase Y, it increases down instead of up. So for example, if we did a Y value of 750, it would move the circle further down. So I'm going to go ahead and restart and run all of this again. There we go. So now this circle is way down here as opposed, with a greater number. So just keep that in mind whenever you're using the coordinate system within Pygame. And that is how you draw a circle in Python with Pygame. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you learned something, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you very much, and bye.